The financial fallout of the pandemic has been hard for everyone, but women have been hit the hardest. Let's take a look.
Hi, doctors. I need your advice. Like many others, I have been out of work for the duration of the pandemic. Because of COVID, I had 2 potential job offers that were withdrawn. I really loved my previous job, and I would have liked to stay there, but unfortunately, they were not open to a formal remote work-from-home schedule. On top of that, I had just moved across the country with my newborn son. I would really like to get back into the workplace, but I feel stuck. Where do I go from here?
Joining us now to talk about why 1 in 5 women have left the workforce since the start of the pandemic is Congresswoman Katie Porter. Welcome, Congresswoman Porter.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And your office has issued a report showing that the burden of the pandemic is largely falling on women. Could you discuss that with us?
Women are disproportionately suffering the job losses, and they appear to be very last to begin to recover as we begin to create more jobs and put people back to work. And it's coming from several things. One is the pressures of remote schooling, needing to be with their kids to help them with school, the closure of so many daycares, and then some of the industries that were particularly hard hit.
Congresswoman Porter, you can speak to this. You're a mom of 3. I'm a mom of 2. When your kids' schools are closed, their daycares are closed, I think the burden of then being home and taking care of them and trying to shepherd them through disproportionately has fallen on women. And so many of us have really been faced with hard choices about whether or not to continue focusing on our work or trying to focus on getting our kids and shepherding through their online classes. So I'm just curious if you could speak in a broader sense as to how all these closures have really impacted women.
Yeah, women are really feeling squeezed out of the workforce by the effects of this economic crisis. And this is different than some of the other, the financial crisis of 2008 or some of the other economic downturns. This is a particularly hard effect on women, and particularly lower income women and women of color. These people don't have choices. They're being forced to choose between taking care of their kids, making sure their kids are safe, and going to work. If their kid gets sick or has to quarantine, they're having to stay out of work to do it. The hardest part of this economic recovery is going to be for women, particularly women of color, women in lower income jobs. But it's also long-term about building a career, having opportunities for promotion, and being able to save for retirement.
And Congresswoman Porter, to that point, there's also been talk lately about a Marshall Plan for moms, where they're proposing, similar to the 1948 Marshall Plan for economic recovery after World War II, direct aid to moms so that they can be recognized and compensated for all that unseen labor they do to get them back into the workforce. What are your thoughts about a feasible plan to help women recover from the economic devastation to this particular generation of moms?
I first heard about the Marshall Plan for women. In Congress, when we have a big bill, we often call it an omnibus. And now we're talking about a momnibus, a bill focused on moms. So one thing I'm really excited about with President Biden's Build Back Better plan is thinking about childcare as infrastructure. And that is so important, in investing not just in the kids and the parents who might need childcare, but in the women who do that work.